Hello, children. Sai Ram. Hope you all are doing well. Children, welcome to Social Studies class. In our last week, we completed with our chapter number 5, DRC, the land of dense forest. Isn't it, children? So, I hope that you all have solved the worksheets which were attached along with your videos. And I hope that you have also downloaded your textbook, isn't it? So, children, let's begin with our new chapter. But before that, I would like to ask you a few questions based on a new chapter. And the questions are: number 1, when did India get independence? I hope this is not a difficult question for you. Yes, when did India get independence? And the answer is on 15th August 1947. Isn't it, children? India got independence on 15th August 1947. Now, the question 2 is, before independence, who ruled India? I hope you are aware of this answer also. Before independence, who ruled India? And the answer is the British ruled India before independence. Now the question comes in our mind that how did British enter in our country? Okay, and what was the reason behind it? Why did they enter? What was the reason? Okay, British had ruled India, but how did they enter? What was the reason? So, this all we are going to know in our chapter number 18, the British Raj and the First War of Independence. Okay? Children, repeat along with me. Chapter number 18, the British Raj and the First War of Independence. So, we shall know more about the arrival of Europeans in India, the establishment of the British Empire in India, the rising discontent among the Indians, the revolt of 1857. Okay, these are the topics that we are going to cover in this chapter. But in our today's session, we will see only two topics, that is the arrival of the Europeans in India and the establishment of the British Empire in India. So children, let's do a quick time travel to the past and see what led to the British invasion and how they entered India and ended up ruling our country. Several hundred years ago, the Arabs and the Europeans traded with India. Now children, what do you mean by trade? Trade means buying and selling of goods. So, Arabs and the Europeans traded with India. They traded mainly over land. And India was a very rich country and was famous for its spices. Now children, in this image we can see different types of spices, that means masalas. These spices are used in food to add flavor and taste. So, India was very famous for its spices, gold, pearls and silk. So, these were very abundant in India, and people from other countries traded with India for all these goods. Now, in the image, we can see Vasco da Gama, the first European who found a sea route to India was a Portuguese trader by name Vasco da Gama, and he went around Africa and landed at Calicut in Kerala over 500 years ago. So, children, if you see, this was the route he took. He came from the Europe. He went all around Africa and finally he ended up at Calicut in India. Okay, he started from Europe. He went all around Africa and finally he ended up at Calicut in India. Okay, so with this the Portuguese trade began with India through a sea route. Okay, how did the trade start? The trade started with the Portuguese trader, that is Vasco da Gama, and through the sea route. Children, Europeans had great demand of spices. Spices were the primary way of preserving meat in Europe. So, the Europeans had a great demand of spices and they bought spices from India. And soon, along with the Portuguese, followed the Dutch traders. Then we even had French traders. And finally, the English traders landed in India. Now, who were the English traders? Yes, the English traders means the Britishers. As India was a big country with a very large population, therefore the British were attracted towards India. Okay, the Britishers attracted towards India. But soon these started fighting with each other. Yes, that is the Dutch traders, the French traders, the English traders and the European traders were fighting with each other to get a bigger share. Okay, but there was a limited resources and everybody wanted the maximum share of trade. So they started fighting amongst themselves. But the British defeated all other traders and they formed the East India Company. Okay, that is, the British defeated all other traders and they formed East India Company in the year 1600. Okay, for trading with India. Okay, British defeated all other traders and they formed the East India Company in the year 1600 for trading with India. They made trade centers in western and the eastern coast, and for some time they concentrated only on trading. Things worked out to be different later on. So, this was the English East India Company that was set up, and East India Company mainly bought spices and textile from India. So, this was the trade that mainly took part between India and British. So, what do you think, children, that led to the East India Company controlling whole of India? Let's talk about the British control on India and how they gained control over India. When you see British control, the wealth of East India Company was actually utilized to fund the Industrial Revolution in Britain. And the British now needed a steady supply of raw materials for their factories, which were established in Britain. Okay. They also needed a market where they could sell their finished goods, okay, that were made by their factories. Now, all the decisions that the British made were for the benefits of the Britain and harmful for Indian trade and industries. Okay. Few steps were taken by the British to control trade and commerce in India. That is, clever British had taken few steps to control trade and commerce in India because British had to sell its finished goods which were imported from Britain. They wanted to sell in the Indian market. Now, how is it possible? When Indian products will be costly compared to Britain products, then people will not purchase Indian products, right? So, the clever British, what did they do? They imposed heavy taxes on Indian goods so that they become costlier as compared to the Britain goods, and the demand for Indian goods will decline. And therefore, people started purchasing British goods. And this was the result that India became poor. Soon, the British were not content with being more traders in India, and they actually wanted to control the entire India. So, nearly 250 years ago, the Mughal Empire of India had started declining. Okay, the Mughal Empire of India started declining. Okay, and several regional kingdoms emerged to become one. That is, during this time, the internal condition of India was very weak as there was no political unity. And very smart British, what did they do? They took an advantage of the constant fighting that took place between the kingdoms, and slowly British started gaining control over India. Okay, India under British rule. Okay, so slowly and steadily British started gaining the control over India, and this was the first mistake that we Indian did. The first stage of the British conquest of India was marked by the Battle of Plassey in the year 1757. Okay, so this is the image of Battle of Plassey. Okay, the British defeated Sirajuddaulah, who was the Nawab of Bengal, and finally gained control. Okay, this is the image of Sirajuddaulah. Okay, Sirajuddaulah. Okay, he was the Nawab of Bengal and finally gained control, and British became very powerful in Bengal. And soon, over the next 100 years, okay, soon over the next 100 years, British extended their control all over the country, that is in the entire India. So you can imagine that just one battle was enough for British to gain control over India within just 100 years. So children, these were the reasons behind the arrival of British in India, and which caused the conversion of British from the traders to the rulers in India. I hope the concepts are clear to you. In our next class, we shall know more about the rising discontent among the Indians and the revolt of 1857. Okay, so you just go through the chapter. Okay, till then, do take care of yourself. Goodbye.